to this day, like, I still see that picture that he sent me and I was like, oh my god. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. My name is Bree for those who are first timers on this channel, and I wanted to start off by saying that today's video is going to be an update of my brow lift and blepharoplasty. So it's been exactly a year since my surgery. This is going to be an update video, so if you're interested, keep on watching, and if this is not something you're interested in, then there's a lot of other videos on my channel that you should check out. Anyways, let's dive deep into it, and basically I'll just say that I have not planned anything of how I'm going to do this video. I'm just going to talk what's coming to my mind, and I thought that this video is very essential because a lot of my thoughts have changed over the last year about the procedure and just the results and just all of those details. So I've actually done 3 videos already about this topic. One was why I'm getting the surgery, second one was of the actual surgery, and the third one was like a Q&A type of video. And in this video I'm going to answer some of the questions as well that you submitted on my Instagram, and I also want to start off by saying a few things that I keep being asked about frequently, and that is where I did it, what's the price, and yeah, pretty much I guess that's it. That's the very common type of things you guys inquire. But yeah, I'm going to share this again because, like, you know, Instagram and YouTube have totally different audiences usually, and you know, maybe this is the first time you're seeing me and you're wondering how much I paid and all that. So yeah, I'm Lithuanian and I did the surgery in Lithuania, which is like my home country. I decided to go there for a longer period of time because like my grandmother was sick and stuff, so it was kind of like a perfect opportunity to do it back home, even though I'm living in Dubai for almost 6 years now. And I don't know, I just decided that it makes more sense to me, and as well it's way more affordable. So speaking of the price, in total my surgery, brow lift together with blepharoplasty, was 2,100 euros, and that is, I'm aware, very cheap compared to some other countries. And yeah, I think that is a very good price that I paid. And I chose the clinic based on like social media. I saw a lot of people's stories who did surgeries in that specific clinic, and the name of the clinic is Fi Clinica. I mentioned this as well a lot of times that I'm not affiliated with the, you know, the clinic, and that I paid for the procedure myself. So do your own research. I'm not promoting the clinic or anything like that. I did have, however, a good experience, so I can't say anything bad about them. Now, where everything else comes down to this 1 year update is that I have changed a lot as a person since the time that I actually had the surgery. So I've been very in my spiritual journey, and you know, I've been going to church every weekend and that kind of stuff. And I came across as well like some, you know, Christian YouTubers and stuff like that, and one of them specifically talked about how she had her ears pinned back, and I believe breast implants, if I'm not mistaken, and how, you know, she realized after some time as well that she shouldn't have changed her body, and you know, that God made us all perfect. But again, this is very deep and maybe something that you don't even care about, but I'm just speaking from my experience, what happened to me. So, you know, just kind of diving into my faith and stuff, I also started questioning whether I did the right decision. And a lot of people actually have something called like post-surgery blues, so that's kind of normal thing, but it's mostly during the period when you're healing. So it's not really, I guess, applicable for me, since this started happening, I would say, like months into, you know, my post-op time basically. So I've started asking questions like, did I do the right decision? I looked back at my older pictures and I was like, oh shit, this looks different, that looks different. So yeah, I started feeling a bit weird in my body, that like, oh my gosh, every day I look in the mirror and I see the incisions, I see the difference in me. But the other half of me was very happy with the result. I'm happy that I don't look tired anymore, that my eyes are not drooping when I'm like smiling in the pictures, or they don't look like my eyes are closed, because this was something that I was like very aware of and didn't like in, you know, in the pictures and stuff of myself. So anyways, I guess I'm just gonna say that sharing that video helped a lot of people. I think right now there's about 70,000 views on that video, which is crazy to me because I didn't realize how interested people would be in it. So that was like very amazing that, you know, I was helpful to some people who were thinking about it or were just like unsure how things go, and I helped them kind of make up their mind to go for it or to not go for it. But then there's another part that I've never addressed, and that is a lot of people actually message me on Instagram, and it wasn't something that I was happy or proud about. And what I'm trying to say is that, for example, not so long ago, there was one girl, I think she was 19, and she messaged me and she's like, oh, I've been thinking about this procedure and your video helped me decide to go for it. And she sent me pictures of herself right now, and I was like, oh my gosh, she is absolutely perfect. Like, there's nothing she needs to get done. And I just felt so incredibly bad that I feel like I might have influenced this person to look for imperfections in their face. And I think I just underestimated the tremendous amount of responsibility that actually came with sharing my story on YouTube. And I feel really bad because I really don't want to encourage or promote plastic surgery. And yeah, it was kind of scary, to be honest. And there was another guy who sent me pictures of his incisions, and my incisions are literally at my hairline. His incisions were super low. And I was just shocked. I am, to this day, like, I still see that picture that he sent me and I was like, oh my God, like, what do you tell someone in a nice way? I just hope that it heals nicely and it's not as visible. But that's the issue that comes with plastic surgery, because every surgeon might use a different method, or he might not be as good as the other person, and that responsibility comes down on you. But again, my intent of sharing my story was to enlighten people of how the procedure goes and stuff. And obviously, because it's, you know, I share a lot of my life on YouTube, I wanted to be honest about what I'm doing, but it was no way intended to encourage other people to go and do it. And I feel really bad about it. Actually, 2 days ago, Cosmopolitan Middle East reached out to me saying that they saw my Instagram post where I shared kind of the same story that I'm sharing with you guys now, and they were super interested because they want to discuss more about the underlying like mental consequences of plastic surgery and how it can affect young people. And I'm definitely willing to share that and hopefully stop someone from, you know, going through an experience that they might regret at some point. And I mean, to this day, like I said, I'm 50% of me is like, okay, I'm happy I did this, and the other half of me is like, for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be probably remembering that I changed something about myself, and I'm not proud of that. And again, that doesn't mean that I regret the surgery, just want to emphasize that. I also want to share that when I did the surgery, I was 26 and I turned 27 the following month. I'm still 27 right now and I'm turning 28 next month. So just to give you sort of an idea of how old I am when I did the surgery. And when people found out like how young I was, and you can read it in the comments in my actual surgery video, there's some comments of like women and like just people that are older than me who said, oh, you didn't need this, and they were like, oh, I think you looked better before, like what the heck. So like obviously there's always going to be people that support your decision and people that like say, why did you do it? And I think, first of all, I'm gonna say, Miss Ma'am, you didn't know how I looked before, so you can't judge me. And here are some pictures just to show you how I looked before. So I think that for me, it was actually a good idea that I did it. But the issue I have is about the actual surgery I chose to go with. So I'll address that in a minute. And yeah, I want to just show you guys real quick the scars, and I'll say what is bothering me about my decision with the surgery. So in the Q&A that I did, I was wearing, I think, like self-tanner or something, and you couldn't properly see the scars. However, today I specifically didn't put makeup like above this kind of line here, so you can properly see the scar. So this right here is the incision, and as you can see, my actual hairline should be here, and now I have this like white hole here. Not white hole, but I mean it's a scar tissue. The scar is about that big, and I'm pretty good at hiding it, I guess, with makeup and stuff. And on the other side, I feel like it is less visible, but it's also affecting my hairline. So my hairline should be till here, and now it's like it has this gaping little part. So now by fixing something, which is my droopy eyes, I started to like obsess a little bit over my hairline and the scar. And the reason why that happened is because one of my friends pointed it out, and I felt bad because up until my friend mentioned that, I was like, what scar? Like, but then she saw me from like up close, she's like, oh, why did you do this? Like, the scar is like so obvious. And I was like, wow, thanks. And ever since then, I just can't let it go. And now whenever I wear my ponytail like this, I would get very insecure because I know that there's a little bit of hair missing. So what I was actually thinking is to do a little bit of like microblading here. I don't know if that's very stupid or genius. I haven't gone for it yet, obviously. But I thought if I change my hair color one day, then it's gonna be visible. Although I guess microblading fades. I don't know, like if anyone's ever done this, could you let me know if you did something to your hairline? I can easily fill this like with some makeup, but it's just the fact that every day you wash your face and you see it and you're like, oh my gosh, my scars, like why did I do this? And I just want to emphasize that because this is something you might have to deal with. And as you know, like a lot of celebrities have this surgery done all the time, like Kendall Jenner, and I mean, okay, cannot confirm, I don't know it for sure, but I mean, from what a lot of people say online is that she had it, that Bella Hadid had it, and I think what they had done was actually incisions in the actual hair. So that method is called endoscopic brow lift. The one I had was called, I think, temporal brow lift. And you might ask why I didn't go for the endoscopic one, and that is because when I consulted my surgeon, I was told that this method is actually better, it lasts longer. Some surgeries need to be revised after like 10 years if I'm not mistaken. It depends, everyone's body is different, you know. So I don't think I'll ever get under a knife again, you know, to change anything at all, unless I need some actual, you know, surgery for a certain condition or something like that. But as I said, yeah, it depends kind of like from surgeon to surgeon. One surgeon might do endoscopic brow lift and think that's the best method for you, and then the other one might do the brow lift that I had. There's also another ones where they like do incisions here. I don't know, there's like lots of different ways to do it. I'm obviously not a plastic surgeon, so I cannot go into much depth about the ways this surgery can be done. And I know my friend, she had an endoscopic brow lift, so I think you get like 4 or 5 incisions in your actual hair, so that's why the scar is not visible. But then I heard, or actually read maybe a little bit about it, that there's some different issues that you can have, which is like higher hairline. I don't know, too many complicated medical terms that I cannot explain too well. So if you want to know the difference between endoscopic brow lift and temporal brow lift, do your homework, talk to different surgeons, inquire and ask all the questions before you decide to do any of this surgeries. I don't want this video to be super long. I'm just gonna answer some of the questions that you guys submitted. After how long you didn't feel any pain? I'm gonna have my surgery in September. I think I didn't feel any pain like 3 or 4 days in. I just was swollen and that was it. And I guess the only pain I do feel, or felt, sorry, was here where the incisions are. Sometimes if I press super hard, like I would never obviously just sit and press my head. Okay, this one I can feel is a little sensitive. So I guess maybe still there's some healing that's happening a year later. I had like some numbness for a few good months and like itchiness on the scalp, but then I think there was like actual no pain after like 1 week and a half. So yeah. Do you think eyebrow lift is necessary combining with eyelid surgery for a better result? Again, this is very individual. I decided to go for it because my situation was a little different. Some people actually already have a high brow and just the lid is drooping, so that's the only time when you actually just fix the lid. But if you had like a lower brow like I did and a droopy lid, and so just cutting the lid kind of doesn't really work in the long run, so I was looking that I don't want to do the surgery again, and I just thought it's best to combine it for me. And again, this is something your surgeon is going to decide. You cannot just be like, okay, I want this, do it, I don't care. No, you're gonna have to hear a professional's opinion and what they advise you to do. And my surgeon advised that I need the combination surgery, so yeah. Will it have to be repeated sometime in the future? So again, depends from person to person. Like I said, I'm not going to do it, but yeah, for some people you might have to repeat it. I'm not sure. Is it possible their eyelids can droop again? Yes, of course. Aging, gravity, sagging, that happens, so that's very normal. What would be the cost range in Dubai for the service? I went for a consultation in 2016, I believe, in Dubai, just when I moved here, because I was already curious about this procedure and I was thinking about it. And I do want to say that they told me it was 10,000 dirhams for just the blepharoplasty, but I don't know, I really don't know. It's been like a lot of years now, so you know, it's 6 years later, so the prices could have changed. Together with brow lift, it could be, I don't know, 20, 30. You have to check with the clinic and the surgeon that you want to go with. Are the scars visible? So yes, if you know that I had a surgery, you can see them. If you didn't know that I had a surgery, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. How long did it take to fully heal, and when could you go in the public again? I was going out in the public within the same week. I was just wearing some glasses and like a beanie to not show the band that I had to wear for like 7 days. But fully healed, I would say maybe a few months. Again, really depends on the person and how quickly you heal. Did it hurt, and how much time did you need to recover? It's definitely not one of the worst surgeries you can do in terms of pain. Definitely not. I think getting a boob job must be a lot more painful than having this procedure done. So yeah, again, it took me like good 3-4 months, I think, till I was fully healed. What were the biggest fears before? Actually, I think I was way more scared going for my consultation than the actual surgery, because you're just, I don't know, maybe somebody who's had more surgeries then it wouldn't freak them out. For me, it was my very first time, so I was like, oh my gosh, so many like thoughts go in your head. But actually on the day of surgery, everything happens so quickly. You go there, you check in, you like get your you know, outfit that you need to wear to the operating room and whatnot, and everything just happens so quickly that the next thing you know, you're up and it's done. So I don't think I've actually had huge like fears beforehand. It was more like an excitement of actually doing it. So yeah. And the last one is, do you regret it? Yeah, this is a one that I cannot say for sure, because as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, half of me is like, yay, you know, you got what you wanted, and the other half of me is like, but did you actually need it? So I guess I'm gonna say that I don't regret it, because even though there's something that I'm not happy about necessarily, and that is my scars that will remind it to me for the rest of my life, I think I've learned a lot, that we sometimes jump into decisions without understanding the picture fully. I mean, for me, it took me years to actually make up my mind, but maybe I should have taken a few more years to actually decide for sure that this is the best thing I can do for myself. So again, I'm not discouraging you. I'm not saying that you should do it. I think that you should just be 100% certain. And even if you are 100% certain, maybe wait a little bit longer. Just wait and be like, why am I doing this? Who told me that this is a good idea? Am I sure of this? Am I not gonna regret this? Ask yourself all these questions, and when you are sure completely, then, you know, do it. But remember that there's people like me, and maybe the people that I was approached by, that are not maybe 100% satisfied, and that can happen to you. So that's all I'm gonna say with this video. I hope that you found my videos useful about the brow lift and the blepharoplasty. I'm very thankful to all the positive comments that I've received in previous videos, and I hope that this video was also helpful to you. And yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. I'll be happy to answer anything that you're interested in. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best. Look after yourselves, and yeah, see you guys in my next video. Bye.